All right, just give it like 30 seconds while my lives are opening up. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so good morning. Good morning. We'll start today. Happy Wednesday, by the way, everyone. We'll start today by, as we always do, opening with intention setting, inviting the Holy Spirit in, inviting stillness, silence. So, if you're not driving, please join and you can gently close your eyes. And let's begin by turning our attention inward. And start to bring that awareness to the rhythm of your breath. Just simply become aware of your breathing. And as you breathe in, infuse it with this trust, this sense of love. And with each exhale, relaxation. Dropping your shoulders, allowing the past and the future to be put aside, and welcoming in the present moment, where there are no worries, there's only peace. And in your mind's eye, I want you to visualize a shining bright light at the center of your heart. Feel its warmth, seeing it expand with every pulse. And let it fill your whole being. Let it illuminate all the corners of your mind. And just observe its effortless expansion. And again, just acknowledging and trusting that you need do nothing. You don't need to do anything except to allow it to be and getting out of the way of its natural flow. For just a moment, we'll embrace the light's effortless presence. Breathing in, trusting, and relaxing. And now begin to shift your awareness to the sensation of the support beneath you. If you're driving, you can feel the seat. If you're sitting, you can feel the seat beneath you and the ground beneath you. And start to imagine roots extending from your being into the ground, reaching deep into the core of the earth. Feel the pulsating heartbeat of our Mother Earth. And Begin to beat and pulsate in sync with it. Visualize that same golden bright light extending from you, traveling through these roots, connecting you to our mother's nurturing essence. And as your awareness broadens, envision that everyone you've ever known, everyone you've ever met, connected to the same source through their roots. Some of the roots are dim, some are pulsing, but yet they are not as illuminated, as brightly as yours. That is a vision and a reminder of your true purpose and your reason for existence. What is it that you're supposed to do? As you see other roots less dim, less illuminated, not in sync with the essence of life. We only have one task, and you know what that is. And as you're connected to that, gently allow yourself to smile for this moment of connection and clarity. You have truly touched upon and resonating with truth. You are here to remember, to illuminate, and share this interconnectedness. A universal truth that binds us all. One heartbeat, one love, one sun, one God. And yeah, in this space, this peace, this clarity is truly worthy of what we're created to be and what we're meant to do here. And bring your awareness back to your breathing. Take a couple another breaths. And we say, Amen, Aho, thank you. And we hold this vision just a little bit longer, just a couple more moments. And whenever you are ready, feel free to open your eyes and return. Hello, welcome. Hey-o. Okay, so happy Wednesday, everybody. We are back every Sunday, every Wednesday. It feels like it happened so fast. Like we just did it Sunday. We just did it like yesterday. Where did the days go? Where did Monday and Tuesday go? And then before you know it, it's Sunday again. Then it's Wednesday. Then it's Sunday. So, does anybody want to? We'll open it up. Today I wanted to dedicate, or at least throw the topic out there of rising to greatness. What does that mean for every one of you? Like, as you're rising to meet this moment, Our whole lives have been set up so that we could be prepared for this moment, for this holy instant of us remembering and recognizing and being so clear on what we're supposed to be doing. Living into whatever the calling is for you individually and collectively. Our whole life preparing us always for the now. So who's got anything you guys want to start to share with? Let's go. Good morning.
Good morning. You are the only one I can take something like this and restore a little bit of sanity in my bottle. I have a bottle inside me right now. So I'm gonna try to be as concise as possible, but you're gonna love the story, I'm sure. I mean, it's not nice, but it's interesting.
Okay.
Sunday morning, somebody with a vacuum decided to clean the car right under my window. I sleep with the window open. It's 7:30. I tolerate for like let's say until 8, and then I get dressed. I go downstairs and I say, "Dude, please, it's Sunday morning. It's 8 a.m. now. You've been doing this for half an hour. It's time to stop. You wake me up, my family. It's not right." And he says, "Get the fuck out of my face." This is someone that is running a business. He has a car with a business name on it, and he's cleaning a van. He gave appointment to these people to clean the van in front of my building, and because he didn't want to bother anyone in his neighborhood, right? And I'm like, what? And he was like, "This is Miami," because he heard I haven't sent. "We are awake at 8 a.m. And I said, "During the week I am, but this is Sunday, okay? This is not acceptable." And he pursued the fuck you, and he take the vacuum, and he keep going. So I said, the stupidest choice possible. Go upstairs, upset, take the phone, call the non-emergency and say, "Hey, I want code compliance to come because there is an ordinance that says that you cannot have this kind of decibel reaching my window on Sunday morning this early." Okay? So I call the police. I'm on the phone with the police. I say, "Yeah, please send the car." As I'm passing by, I took picture of the car, and this guy spit on my neck. And it starts like being aggressive, and the police says, "Get out of there, right? Don't just go back to your home, don't." This guy, before I went upstairs to get the phone, he says, "You are not gonna do anything, like go fuck yourself, you're not gonna do anything because I know where you live. And I know you have family." At that point, being Italian, I said, "Yes, you know where I live. You know where I live, but I am Italian and I know where you work. So we don't let these things go very easily." And it was like ego. And so after that, I decided not to do anything. Okay, so I went upstairs at the shower, of course. And it was Sunday, right? So I'm still thinking, at some point, I'm going to leave this one in the hand of God. And inside, I'm like, this might have kids that he beat up. Someone that can do something like this to a woman, like the way it was like a dog with that, like, I didn't expect, not even like the first "go fuck yourself" or "get the fuck out of my face," whatever that was. I was shocked with the first one, and then the way he pursued, I'm like, I realize now this guy obviously has anger management problems, so I'm not gonna go on and fight with him, at least not for now. But yes, I'm torn because I'm like, someone like this should not be out there. Because come on, if nobody does anything, this guy is like, what is gonna do next? He threatened me and my family and spit on me, and I wasn't even vulgar or upset. I was frustrated, which I'm not the kind of person I go, hey, you fucking asshole, like no. I was like, dude, please. And so I'm kind of torn, and even when I say I'm gonna leave this one in the end of God, God is gonna take care of this. Because around comes around. I feel that in the middle of my chest that, and then I go, okay, so let me pick the God. I'm gonna pick Kali. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna ask Archangel Michael. I'm gonna find like Krishna, all the gods that I know that are merciless, right? And these are the gods that I want to go to. And I decided now I'm gonna have a meeting tonight. I'm gonna do a ceremony with the all the things that I know in the right direction and stuff. And I'm gonna bring it to Kali and say, hey, you take care of this dude. But that's not right because it is still like it's a spiritual revenge. But it's hard for me to want to see that he didn't do what I think he did.
There it is. Yeah. Right? That forgiveness that the Course defines is that he did not do what you thought he did. The harm and the hurt that you thought he did to you didn't actually occur because there is just a perception that something like that is happening. So, now, okay, it'll be challenging for a lot of people, especially new people just jumping in like, what do you mean? Like, we want to go into defense and battle immediately, right? So remember, this call is a reminder for everybody that peace is what we ultimately want, right? It's not to join in on the battle, to take sides. Like, our natural egoic reaction is to side with you like you're the victim because you told the story from a victim space, right? And so we naturally will want to join into it because it's the ego wants to be involved in conflict. Right? The model of the ego is to seek but do not find. There is no outcome in which, if you decided to take either side, that leads to resolution or peace. Because even if he was punished, even if karma got him back, all that does is give you a reason to take sides again in the future. It strengthens oh, you see, you get punished. And the idea of punishment following actions or wrongdoings become stronger in your mind. That does not lead to peace. That leads to more conflict, more judgments, because now you're like, see, that I was right about that. That means I will now, let me scoot over, God. I got this one, right? Like, I know what's going to happen here. Now that just starts to reinforce. Think about, like, as that's happening, a new neuropathic thing starts happening in your brain. And you start to connect events, punishment, people, actions to something else that is not God. It starts to be it builds on this ego self, right? We call it the lowercase self, not the capital self, not the awakened aware self that is interconnected to all, right? Like our opening meditation, it's recognizing that interconnectedness, that even God exists and love exists inside this person. Love is always what is going to win. Patience and love and compassion is going to win that over in somebody, because this person in that moment has forgotten who he is, and his heart might be closed because he's going through a lot of stress. If he doesn't get this car cleaned right now, his boss is going to fire him, and he's under tremendous stress, and he's going to lose his health. I don't know, all the things could be happening. It's a Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, Sunday, I don't doesn't matter what it is, what day it is, right? So now we've given some judgment over to what Sunday should look like, right? I get to be right that Sunday is rest day for me, right? Sunday is the rest day that everybody should be resting and sleeping in because we work hard all week. Maybe he's only able to work on Sundays, right? Maybe it's his like fifth job
Yeah,
that he
but do it under your home, not come to my home.
I get it. I get it. Look, I mean, right? This is not about making you wrong or trying to have you prove your side to be right, right? So, you know, the important thing is for you to recognize where the anger and the fire started from in your body.
Oh my God, I honestly, I have not hated anyone
Uh-huh.
since was a teenager. I think, you
Yeah,
know,
and it's look at
I
that. It's
think
still here.
that, like really, I don't have that hate thing. I'm more like even when I was completely unaware and into myself, like deeply. Uh, my idea of revenge was like poking like the bicycle tire. That was but this guy, I flash in my mind of like mafia movies.
Uh-huh.
I
And I
really,
said it a couple weeks ago. Every one of us is capable of killing. That's how insane the ego goes.
I don't know
Yes.
about him, but I would hurt him.
uh, I mean, and then what's the
In
next
my
level,
mind,
right?
in my fantasy, because physically I don't think if it was there, it's like killing animal, like people that eat meat. I
Uh-huh.
want to see you kill a cow and eat it. Nobody will eat meat, you know.
Oh, well, I mean, if he breaks into your house, then what? If he starts to threaten your family, then what? All right. So we are capable, and we actually invite that into our space more and more because the ego's like, I want to be right about something. Right. So like besides we're not trying to prove who's right, who's wrong, if he's good or he's bad, or none of that. Right now, we're just trying to peace is what we want, right? Peace of mind for you right now so that you can get rid of this hatred thing. Because we say, oh, I have never hated anybody since I was a teenager. Yeah, we don't until we do.
Yeah,
And
I feel like I'm Israel right now.
yeah, right. So
Yeah, I
connecting
think
to
I
that
can
energy.
really relate this with what is happening in the world. That's
Uh-huh.
why I decided to bring it to you
Yeah, good. So
because, yeah,
yeah, so let's focus on the relinquishment and the forgiveness that gets to happen for yourself, not for him, not for anything else, but for yourself right now. Is number one, we have to be able to shift from this space of fear to love, right? It's like red covers us when we get angry, and there is no seeing it. But first step is to get rid of that red. I know, right? You guys think, oh my God, Alex does the Course of Miracles, and he must be so calm and blah. It must be love, must be so lucky, and then I go and punch a wall and flip out and all that. Like, dude, it happens. We all are human beings, right? Like we're all gonna lose our minds. And if we're able to lose our minds, then okay, this person is also able to lose his mind. But can I neutralize the event? Because that is what I want. I don't want to be right about this anger that I have or this hatred or judging myself of, oh my God, I've never felt this and now I do. Well, yes, now you do. So what? Now what? Right. And it's first shifting, like acknowledging that you want to shift. Number one is I don't want to hold this. I don't want to hold this story. I don't want to be attached to the energies that I have around this story. Okay. So we choose love over fear in this moment, whatever that's going to look like for you. In every situation, this is the number one step that I acknowledge that I'm going to choose love over this fearful thought. Okay. This attack thought, this judgmental, this attack thought. The shift requires a change in perception because you have a perception of all sorts of things right now, and all of those things that you have on anger and fear right now is a perception that is giving evidence to the same thing about a righteousness that you get to have. right? About something. Now we all have that, okay? So it's not just you, it's the ego. When I say the you, I mean ego you.
Yeah.
And now we can, as we choose it, we embrace love. Okay? Because love is what is going to free us from that. So it takes courage, it takes grace. You know, you sharing that this morning, like it's tremendous risk and courage that you're taking. And so together, we're going to neutralize and bring peace to this situation, right? To a new, there is a new possibility in the outcome of all things. So, first, the willingness to say, I may be wrong. I may be wrong about the entire thing. The ego is not going to like that, but first, you just got to say it. I may be wrong about all things, because even the gods that you're calling in are gods of destruction, right? The Kali that's going to burn the sins away, and it's going through a path of destruction. Now, nothing wrong with that. It's just another aspect of our ego that we call on.
Oh no, if I take it to Cali, it's because I'm gonna see blood, you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like we're calling in a version of God that is not God. Is actually us attaching one of our identities and emotions to a God that will handle what we can't handle right now. Here, you punish them. Rather than, hey, burn away the hatred in my mind. That may be a more appropriate place to put that, right? So the second step is now to recognize the power of forgiveness. That we release, that in this moment that I'm choosing love over fear, that we may release our resentment, our grievances, our hurts, our judgments towards others. Because 100% this hatred and this pain and an attack that you feel will hurt you. This is not a one-sided sword. This is a two-sided sword. You may not know it right now, but as you are wishing attack, you will be attacking yourself. Okay, so this is actually an opportunity for you to practice forgiveness. Right? This guy has given you the perfect opportunity. You haven't had this opportunity since you were 14.
Oh my God, you did.
Yes, so it's a classroom. So now we can begin to bring this like gratitude and thankfulness to this person. See, the energy begins to shift even at the tiniest levels, because you are trying to release the burden of this from yourself, the attack and the pain. Right, Adam, did you want to say something? Did you raise your hand?
I was actually seeing if my little hand raising thing would pop up there, but it wasn't quite activating. But sure, if there's an opportunity, I just love when I hear Kali and Krishna. It kind of lands deep within my heart. And for me, in my listening, it's like whenever I've had these type of fuses get lit, fires get lit, whatever terminology, where that ego starts to boil up, and there's anger that's coming and so on. If I or when I call in Kali, we got to realize for a second that that necessarily isn't for pointing it at the person out in front of me, which is just an illusion of something, right? That's kind of like what you're getting to. But Kali's actually going to come and start working on me. So, just to be ready for that ego death that may come, because there's an opportunity to look at, like, what is the stress that even has me on a Sunday morning, for instance, get so upset that I need to go and I see this poor guy working on a Sunday. I'm like, wow, and this is a different perspective. Like, this guy's working on a Sunday morning. I wish too bad he's not home with his kids. There's just that 1 degree to the left, right? Of like anger, something getting triggered, and compassion. Anger and compassion. And Kali, being the representation of fierce compassion, is actually absorbing all of the anger out of the space, and is calling, and actually is the most loving being. So just to bring a little perspective, not that this call is about Hindu deities and things like that, but Kali is not necessarily the destroyer. She's so dark because she absorbs all of the suffering of the world and loves us all that much that she's willing to walk through the graveyard of fire, holding our suffering for us, So actually calling in Kali is like giving away all of the ego and absorbing it. So truly calling in that aspect of God, right, or giving it to God or the Holy Spirit, or whatever works for anybody, is a beautiful practice, but it's not really made for an attack. And I just wanted to share that because there's a collapsing of what Kali actually does and means and is a representation thereof in the world. It's not as an attack, it's as fierce compassion. And I just want to say thank you, because even myself noticing where maybe my health, my well-being isn't feeling so well, and my edge is a little closer to the surface, and somebody can come walk into the room and say any little thing, and like the fist through the wall. Like, what the heck was that? Oh, I'm not taking care of myself. It has nothing to do with the guy out there washing the van or the relationship thing. Oh, I'm not taking care of myself. I need to give myself a time to slow down. So I wanted to say thank you for bringing that to light. I can't see her. Is it Ariana? Thank you, Ariana, for your share.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for making that distinction, Adam. Yeah, we call upon, this is one of the things that the ego does, is the ego, instead of saying, let me bring my problems to God, it turns into, let me bring God down to me so that God can reflect and now reinforce the evidence of why I feel what I feel. So so where were we? We were accessing forgiveness, right? We go through this path. Right? First, we're acknowledging that I want to feel love over fear. And then we start to have this moment, it starts to move towards this next moment of forgiveness. And it's really a forgiveness of ourselves for forgetting. Like in this moment, wow, I just had this moment of just hatred and ego, all the things come up. So let me clear that for myself, because as you hold on to that, how long will you hold on to that? The more you start gathering evidence, because what's going to happen next is you're going to go around and you're going to share the story with everybody, looking for allies to strengthen this idea that you're right about this. And it's not really about you being right. It's actually the ego exists, that hatred exists, that we justify war. Okay, this is what we're sharing. We're sharing, let's justify war. All right, let's go as far as that. We can say, let's justify murder. Let's justify rape. Let's justify all of that. They're all different forms of the same thing, coming from that. And the more extreme we go, that we connect to, because the ego's like, no, whoa, don't connect me to that. That's heinous. But the same that direction in thinking leads to that. And the more extreme you go, and if you can connect those, the more maybe it would take for you to say, oh shit, that's not the direction I want to go. Right? But recognize that the law of expansion is, as things are shared, it grows. See, now we can also turn that into, oh, is that how abundance and money works? And now see, every wrong thought is one thought away from being the enlightening thought for you. There is no too far that you can go. It just takes one shift. Whoa, I've been growing this pain and ego and suffering and attack all this time. Is this what sharing means? The more I share it, the more it becomes real. That one shift in thought perspective becomes the holy instant. You have now taken a situation of hatred to now extreme compassion. See that moment, that shift right there, that's what the Course calls a miracle. Every moment of your life is entitled to miracles. Every moment. Everything that happens in front of you is an opportunity to shift, because the other side of it is the truth. So you just had a great opportunity this moment from this guy. Like, that shift itself fills you with so much love that you can literally now just love up on this guy. And then we recognize, see, after that forgiveness, see what happens when we have that moment of clarity and miracle is that we recognize the interconnectedness. That as I just pour love into this person, I can no longer see this person coming back and harming me and my family. and then it doesn't happen. See, now it reinforces, oh, see, I just give love. And then who knows? Maybe he comes back and apologizes. And it's like, whoa.
Ain't bad enough, sure.
Okay, well, obviously you're not ready to let this go yet. But look, let's go through the steps, right?
Alex,
Yo, who's that? Lou. Oh, hey, what's up, man?
let me just try to help her because this is called energy leadership, and this is something that will definitely help somebody that's in this situation.
Great book.
And I learned how to do this, okay? Because of Lori, she's a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
When you get confrontation in something like this, ask questions of the person, confront them and say, excuse me, why are you doing this? Constantly ask questions until they tell you answers, and you'll be surprised at the answers and how you diffuse the person. You will diffuse that person within 5 minutes. There will be no confrontation or anything, because that person will tell you why he's doing it or she is doing it. It comes out. It's like energy leadership. Why are you doing this, Alex? Alex, how come we're on this show this morning? Make you just ask all these questions and let them tell you what's going on in their life. It could be person needs the money. Economy's not great right now. He has to feed his family. It could be little simple things like that, but yet he's angry because he has to do this on a Sunday morning. And he's looking for a fight. So if you could diffuse that person by asking questions and calm, and why are you doing this, so on and so forth, you'll be so understood and so heard. I mean, I had a fight with Jerry like 2 weeks ago. You know Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Next morning, wake up, let's kiss and make up, because it's over with, but you have this thing, and I kept asking him questions until he finally said, okay, yeah, you're right. It's important to do that, otherwise you stay mad and you keep fighting, and that helps nobody.
Yeah, and that's great advice. And I would begin that with yourself, right? Just ask yourself the question constantly. Because it's not even about trying to diffuse it with somebody else. You got to be able to diffuse it in yourself to even be calm enough to ask a question in a calm space. Okay, a lot of times we go right into the doing. Okay, the doing will come as a result of whatever you do in that moment. If you bring peace and calmness, you can use the tactics of asking the questions and diffusing it. But if you don't have the right come from, and you start asking questions like that in a very cynical, attacking way too, like it may not result to the way that you think that it's going to result, right? I mean, you and Jerry have a relationship already, so there's a desire to resolve it for both sides. But this is like already, this guy is heated in the moment. You guys don't know who each other are. He could be up to a point where he can actually cause harm if you keep agitating him. Right. So that's why it's important for you to, from a come from place, right? That it's about the love. It's not about me trying to like get you somewhere. Like I'm not in the middle of a heated moment. Like when me and my wife get into a fight, if I start trying to use any coaching tactics, anything like that, it ain't gonna work. There is too far of the energy match is too far apart. All right. The energetic match is way too far apart for us to be like, oh, so why are you upset? Oh, why this? I'd be like, if it was happening to me, I may be so angry that I could start breaking things, and it happens, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just speaking from experience too, because when I don't know. I've been in personal development programs where I've lost my shit, and then the coach is trying to coach me in that moment. But it's the only thing you need to do is in your mind give love, because the practice is for us to see step 3. Okay, so we have choosing love over fear now. Right? That's number 1. This is all work for yourself. You need to do nothing with this person. Okay, the faith and the trust in God is that where your mind goes to, the others, because of our interconnectedness. If I have to fix you, it means I'm creating elevation already. Okay, and what that does is ultimately creating separation between myself and you. All right, now I'm not saying any of these tactics are not good. There's just times of when to use it. But first is the being. Okay, people think that if you follow the successful actions of a successful person, then you will have the same outcome. That is not true. If you can get to the same mindset, the thinking, okay, success has a level of thinking that is attached to it, not the actions itself, not the doing itself. So we're talking right now about bringing our mind to a place of peace so that we can, whatever tactics we use from that space is going to work, because it's from extreme love, compassion, patience, and the determination of outcome is peace. Right? So like we got to ground ourselves into that. Then asking the questions will really work for sure. But if your mind is on attack and you start asking questions like that from a place of attack, it's only an attack is going to happen back. All right. So we're now at the recognition of this interconnectedness. I've now had this miracle moment. I've chose to let it go. And I see this person as such a great teacher, giving me the opportunity that I haven't had since I was 14. I did not know my trigger was here. Thank you. Gratitude starts to fill. That red lens that you had seen life with right now begins to clear up. You're starting to see things clear again from a neutral space because it's from love, it's from gratitude. And you recognize that interconnectedness, that as I'm pouring love into this person, other miracles start to show because I'm seeing what really is in existence right now, which is love. And so ego separates, Holy Spirit unites. And we're looking for the unity. We're looking to be one. And from that place, we really foster true empathy and unity. Okay, it really helps us transcend this fear and separation into compassion and patience. Okay, so that's step number 3 is going in, is now you're recognizing interconnectedness. And Ariana, I'm not saying that you have to choose this right now. I'm just telling you the path of where it goes. And how okay, so then it's about living into this moment now. See, the opening meditation was letting go of the past and the future so that we can invite in this moment. But as we think about that moment, that is the past. So in this moment, what is now possible? In the infinite possibility of what can happen right now, which one am I going to live into? Stress and worry and attack lives only in the past and in the future. It does not live in this moment unless you bring a past to this moment. We bring the past to this moment and we project the future, which now makes the future like the past. And that's the vicious cycle that happens. You need to choose, I will live into this moment now, where life actually exists. That moment of me being angry is gone. So we stay present and we release the grip of fear on us. We release the grip of attack and anger and judgments and all of that onto us, so that we're no longer projecting a future that is going to be the same as the past. Do I want to live into love? Do I want more love to show up in my life? Now, see the questions for yourself. Why? Do I want to have more love in my life? Do I want more peace in my life in the future? Well, that ain't happening if you hold on to this. That is also not happening if I start now trying to gather allies to share in my warring thoughts. Right? Because that is the law of expansion where ideas grow, things grow as we share it. That's why the Course says to keep something, you give it away. And that's the law of abundance. Is that, whoa, the more I give, the more I have. Can we truly live in that's a mindset? If we don't turn that into a mindset, what ends up happening is if I give you $5, I now have less. Interruption to abundance in your mind because you go to the physical for evidence rather than the mind for evidence. The mind says it's all energy. The more I give it, the more it grows. Oh, abundance. The physical says you give it, you have less of. And this is the confusion for all of us, right? Because now we start to take the intangible, non-physical, and apply it also to the physical. The way we give love. Hey, if I give you love and energy right now, I have less of it. So this whole like, oh, this person can be an energy suck, all of that. Dude, if you truly gave energy, what it should do is you get more energy. If you really gave love, you would have more love. But since you don't, it's because you are taking the evidence of the physical world of if I give it, I now have less. This is why we stress. And when we stress, we gossip and we attack others and we try to project our own insecurities and we don't even recognize it. That's how bullying and all this stuff happens, is because we think unconsciously that if we spew it out onto somebody else, you now have it and I don't have it. But the one law will exist. That law of expansion exists no matter what. That's the universal truth. Is you spew that out, it grows not only within you or not only within them, but within you and as a collective. It now starts to grow. And we've now put poison into this space. However, poison itself, see, now the healing mind is poison itself is just the opposite side of healing, of the antidote. All we have to do is one thought, flip that poison on its head, and now it becomes what is the thing that is going to cure the planet, cure my mind, cure my relationships. All right, it's hard for the twisted mind to grasp, because the twisted mind still is living in the physical world where nothing really makes sense. If I give you this book, I now don't have this book and you have this book. But what's really happening is if I give you this book, we start talking about this book, and this book starts to impact your life like the way it impacts mine, and the spirit and the energy of this book now begins to grow. And my depth of relationship with this book grows because you now have it. That's the difference between abundance and scarcity right there. We try to take things away as if I took it away, now you have less of it and I'm punishing you somehow. But no, it's not happening. You're punishing yourself. The withholding of love is only going to cause withholding of love from yourself. So, thank you for this conversation, Ariana, because it's bringing so much clarity also to the way I'm sharing it and coming through to me, right? I'm also here listening to the same thing. It's a great reminder. I might be speaking it, but this is only coming through as a result of our dance around the fire, around the lesson. Okay? Like in every moment of this conversation, you are being the teacher at the same time. I just happen to be doing the speaking right now. Okay, but it's the course that is coming through all of us, because every one of us being here right now is contributing to this conversation. Natalia smiling and nodding, giving affirmation and connection to truth. I don't know. By the end of this call, a lot of times I'm like, shit, what did I say? What did we talk about? Right, and sometimes I have to I'm starting to write things down a little bit here and there. But it's always just a reminder. There's really just only this moment that we're all realizing something. We're all coming to clarity. This is the interconnectedness. So interconnectedness, present moment. And here is the last and the only step that ever has to be taken anyways, is giving the guidance over to the Holy Spirit. There is nothing else I need to do. See, now I'm like, okay, well, if I can't do it myself, who can do it? Do I need to burden the weight of it on my shoulders, of all this work that I need to do for me? No, it becomes easier when you say, here you go, you take it, which is what you're attempting to do, but you're skipping the steps and the awareness of the steps that is going to happen. Because as you realize and you're connected to those steps from fear to love, recognizing the interconnectedness, recognizing the present moment, Those are the steps that happen when you give it to the Holy Spirit. See, I made that the 5th step, but really it's the first step, and there is no order. It's all happening at the same time once you truly have remembered it and used it more. So again, back to this guy. This guy just created all of this for all of us. Wow. Now we can all be grateful for this guy. Right? There's a something in the hearts of the collective that is shifting. We are literally being like trees in this world. We are filtering in carbon dioxide, which the rest of the planet can't use, and producing oxygen. We are taking in fear and hate and producing love as a result. What? What the heck just happened? All right. So this is what we're doing. And these calls, there are millions of these types of groups and calls that are happening in the world. Healing is 100% happening as much as war is happening. I was talking to one of my really good brothers. He's a great influence on me. We met in Peru. He's Mr. Yogi, and he's going through a hard time right now. And he's like, "Wow, I can't believe I'm going through these hard times." He's like, "I thought I was done with that. I thought I was just completely detached from all the things." And I'm feeling this human experience. And then he's Israeli, so he's living in Israel. And I don't know what's going on there, but I can only, and it's not like choosing sides or anything. It's just what's happening. He's like, "I went outside. My sister was supposed to have a wedding, and we go there, and literally the second the wedding starts, the alarm goes off, and they see missiles flying overhead and just blowing things up. Like every day, somebody is getting blown up by missiles. They have an anti-missile system that shoots down 90% of the missiles. 1,000 I didn't even know this was happening. I was like, oh, all I hear in the news is, oh, there's a ceasefire that Israel stopped firing at the Gaza Strip. I don't even know what's going on, but I can only hear from experience with my brother, who's like, dude, we literally had to evacuate because the alarm's going off and missiles are flying in, and the missiles are literally just targeting and hitting civilians. And he's like, we fire at like, I don't know which side is what, but all I know is that he lives in a space like this right now. And I'll tell you one more thing. When a lot of people, when the first attack happened, a lot of people at that concert and festival were on psychedelics. All right. If you guys don't know what psychedelics do, it enhances your experience and connects crazy neural path things in your mind. Imagine that happening while you're on that. Okay. It's like intensifying your experience by 1,000,000. People getting shot, people getting kidnapped, grenades blowing people up. So there is a new level of trauma that has happened. Okay. Psychedelics, psilocybin, things like that are starting to come to being recognized as something that is possibly healing. And then all of a sudden, there's a new trauma that now exists in a large collective of people over there that is literally probably going to be the PTSD around that. I don't know what it would take to heal that. Okay. But it's going to take each one of us living into like bringing peace. We need to interrupt warring thoughts in our own mind. So, what you brought, Ariana, into this space is the possibility of us shifting from a place of judgment, attack, anger into love and compassion and peace, and a new possibility that even though all these things are happening, I don't understand why it's happening, but you know who does? The Holy Spirit does. God knows. Right? So the Holy Spirit representing the most loving and the wisest part of ourselves that is going to guide us beyond the illusions, beyond the ego limitations, and helps us see a situation from a new perspective of love and forgiveness. And that's what's available in your story, Ariana. That's available for you and what you've brought to the table today for all of us.
I saw somewhat the relation, and I saw because something so random, and honestly, these kind of things don't happen to women like me, with the life that I live, and the kind of person that I am.
It doesn't until it does.
Yeah, but it's like I thought it was very odd for being just something that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this is something for me to learn from,
Yeah.
And I think I let it go, and then last
All
night
right.
I picked up again.
Okay.
And then today I saw the call and I was like, okay, yeah.
Always perfect.
Honestly, I do see the relation, like the way I feel. It's like I'm Israel. I've been, you attacked me
Mm-hmm.
and you threat my family.
Yeah.
It's like, but I will.
Yeah. Choose love in every moment.
I find the peace for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Choose love and peace each moment, and you are entitled to that moment right now, and then right now, and then right now. And every moment you're entitled to that. It's just when will you choose to let go of the rope, to drop the banana. So Natalia has her hand up. Go ahead, Natalia. Yeah, thank you, Ariana. Thank you so much this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for that wonderful story. And I've been kind of nodding and laughing because something kind of sort of similar happened to me. And I would like also your perspective on it because I was seeing it as one thing. And then after this conversation, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
No, tell us.
So I was on my way to the pharmacy. I had to pick up some prescriptions. And so it was going to one. But then when I got there, they're like, okay, no, it's actually at the other one. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go pick it up on the other one. So I go to the one of Miami Beach. I'm in line, and there's a couple in front of me getting their prescription, and then there's another guy right behind them, and then there's me on the line. And so as I'm standing there and waiting, I see by the chairs on our right, I see a backpack and what it looked like a purse. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should ask somebody if somebody left it. And I was like, oh no, okay, I'll just leave it and maybe, if this person's and they'll get it. So shortly after, couple ends with the conversation and they leave. And the guy in front of me goes mad. And then after he finishes, grabs the backpack and the purse. And in my head, I'm already having these thoughts, is this person taking it? And so I was like, I caught myself and I was aware of what I was thinking. And so I was like, okay, let me not judge this right now. And, maybe this is this person. Like, who am I to judge this person, And so I was like kind of talking myself out of that. So fast, like the guy leaves and then I'm left. And then shortly after, the lady comes back and says, I left my purse. The guy leaves with both the backpack and the purse, or what it looked like a clutch. So kind of like in my head, it's like, oh, maybe that's his wallet. It goes inside the backpack. And so the lady comes back, and it's so interesting because I'm like really aware of all my thoughts in the moment. I'm like, here I go, wanting to be right about this guy taking something that's happening in front of my eyes, and I'm like, oh. So I tell the lady, I was like, actually, the guy in front of me took both of them, and he just left. And so I go ahead and at this moment, like I don't know like who's running my body and my my actions, but basically I was like, okay, let me walk outside with you. Maybe he's there, he took it by mistake. So we walk outside of the Walgreens. I see him standing in the bus stop, and so all of a sudden I just start walking faster, and then I just run towards the bus stop, and I say, "Hey, did you happen by mistake take the purse that was on the chair? A lady came back for it." He opens the backpack. He says, "Yes, actually I did. I was gonna give it to the police officer over there." I was like, "Okay, thank you so much." He gives it back to me, and then I go back towards she's like an older lady in her 70s or so. So I give it back to her. And so after this conversation, she gave me the biggest hug and she said, "Thank you so much. I don't know." And I was like, "Oh no, there's nothing you need to thank me for." And so that moment, like, we had a beautiful connection and we hugged. And I don't know, after this conversation, I'm just like thinking, like, was I really demonstrating love, or was I really making all of that more real for everybody involved, right? And so I'm kind of like, what? As I was running towards the guy, I was like, what am I doing running towards this person, right? And a part of mine is like, what am I doing running towards him? Like, this can be dangerous. And then the other part of me is like, no, it's fine, go. And when I spoke those words, I was like, I meant it. It's like, did you make a mistake take this? He said yes and returned it. So, I mean, I don't know. And I don't know where the conflict lies. Maybe this is something, maybe I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, just going too much into the loop.
Okay, well, you are you are really close to this situation. It's a great story. I love that story. Now, let's say somebody else just shared that story. Okay, give yourself the space, distance yourself from your experience of it. Somebody else share the story. What do you think about it? Pretend that somebody else just shared that story.
It's kind of hard for me to, because what I'm doing in my head is like, I'm thinking of all the times that I've positioned my place in a place of like, I gotta go help someone. Like, it's on me. You know what I mean? So like, but I'm also like judging myself for it. So I don't know if I can distance myself at this time. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. All right. So here is again, we can't find peace in the past. Right? We create distortions, confusions, and twist our minds by trying to bring now something from the past to like justify why, oh my God, like now I don't know what I'm thinking and I'm so confused. But you're not. What would love say to this whole thing, this whole situation that just happened? Right? Like, what is it? What is it about love in this situation? What is it about the power of being in the present moment? What is it about being interconnected? Right? And what is it about spirit that plays a part in all of this?
Yeah, I
And
know the answer.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So what is it? I mean, what about this whole experience? Like, what was your ahas?
My aha was like, as I was running towards this person, there was no fear. And when I spoke with him, there was no fear. And I just asked the question without, without judgment, really.
Yeah.
That was the miracle moment. Like, I just asked the question without judgment, and then he opened his eyes and gave it to me. And I guess when I was bringing the past into the present, it was like, oh, here I go again, trying to like save someone. But it was bringing I was doing in this moment, I was bringing past situations into the present. But there was that miracle moment where I was like, without judgment, I just asked the question, and that was created. And so the distortion happened as I was hearing all of this. I was like, oh shit, was it really a miracle moment, or was I was I doing my thing all over again?
Well,
Yeah.
the miracle moment is that you just had an interruption to past evidences. Right? You had an interruption, and now you have there's a spark of something that is real, that actually showed up tangibly, that you can call on now to everything else in your life. Any other times that you come in with an attack or a judgment from the past, you have something to call upon. And so you want to, the miracle is what you allow in this moment. You can keep having miracle moments from that one event, because there will be other things every day. I promise you, every moment you will call on the past. And the miracle moment tells you that the past doesn't support now. There is nothing from the past that is going to determine this moment. This is why true healing happens in the present moment and not in the past. It doesn't matter how your body, what things has happened in the past. This moment really has nothing to do with that one. And that's there's a chapter in the course called Finding the Present. And it's about letting this moment, which is unlike any moments has ever happened before. No evidence, no analytics, no data supports this moment right here. So now you have a spark and a miracle opportunity to truly live into present moments. And that is all the teaching that there is. So yeah, awesome.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I was truly in the present moment as I was just being and
Mhm.
doing without thinking about any past or having anything in mind. I was just like, it was just acting. And there was almost like it was that interruption. And there was a moment that I was like, what the hell is happening? What am I just doing? And I was like, okay, I'm just going with it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's so funny. See, the more we have that, the more we invite a safe space for people. See, like what could have happened there is you could have been in a bad mood, and as bad as it gets, you can literally walk up to this person and you're like, oh, I saw him put the purse in there, and you like take out your pepper spray and you spray this guy, and then you take the purse back, and it's like, what the hell, right? So you're like, you're a bad person. See, you totally gave this moment a new possibility for yourself, right? Great job. That's pretty funny. But
a little bit more like, I'll call the police and like get him arrested or something like that.
I know. See, the mind goes to punishment for something. When this guy was like, I'm gonna go do the right thing. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna take it to the address. He's gonna go out of his way and be late for his really, really important meeting just to return this purse. And then he gets a police called on him, and then he gets arrested and all. And then now it disrupts his loving compassion, thoughts to completely something different. Oh my God, I'm not going to do a good thing next time. I'm just going to leave it. And then somebody else comes and steals it. I don't know, just chain of all the events of possibilities that could happen. Right? We're just throwing all that out there. But it's up to you in each moment to decide what this moment is going to teach for you, because you can now call on this story. You can cultivate this story. You can make it a good story for you to interrupt all the other times in which you will come up against that, where the ego and the fear will come and you will immediately go into an attack on somebody first, that they're not good enough, that their intentions are bad. I can't trust this person. I can't trust people. All whatever is whatever, right? I mean, we associate all sorts of things that have zero association with each other. All men are this. All women do this. My body is always like this, and it's always gonna be sick, and la la la. Always nevers. Me and my wife get into an argument. The moment that we say always and never, it becomes comical. It used to be a fighting word. Oh, always, I'm always this, I'm never this, and it goes into the whole thing. Now when we say always and nevers, it just becomes comical. Right? So there's healing comes from making things comical and making things lighter too. So that's kind of like another way to think about that. When we can laugh at our trauma and sadnesses, it starts to heal because it's a different perception. There's only shifting in perceptions that's ever happening for us. And we are the chooser of it. And there is no choosing in between. Okay. It's either love or it's fear. There is no fear, love, or love, fear. There's nothing that mixes it up. No gray line in between. One is always at the cost of the other. So, yeah, that was awesome. Great conversation. We just went into like a crazy spiral of like just, I can see everybody in the thinking mode. Like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Anybody else want to share anything? What are your thoughts? What are you hearing?
Alex, I don't have a hand up. It's Louis again. How are you?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Well, I'm going to share something, and we talked about this a while ago, you and I, about purpose.
Hmm.
And this week, every car I saw, what's the meaning of purpose in your life? And then I went over to a friend's house for Saturday night, and in her coffee machine, there was a cup. What is your purpose in life? So it was hitting me like for 4 or 5 days, And I realized I want to share with everyone is that my purpose in life has changed over the last 35 years in business from always helping everyone. But when I was younger, it was more generated by money, but always helping. And now in my life, my purpose is balanced. Half money, half helping. So it's I'm more calm now. Okay. More positive. Came from places that were negative management style, award punishment style. Yeah, look at that guy, he's doing better than you because you suck. All that. Whereas now, I learned over the years of being a positive style. Whereas if that person's not doing as well, let's figure out why. Let's try to help him attain what we're attaining. Don't compete against each other. Help each other to get to that level. So my purpose in life, and I want to share this with everybody today, is more of a positive story, is that each one of us here at Jacqueline Batoza, I met you. Unless I had no idea, I met a doula. I met Jeff Hazlitt because of her. Went on this great conference that she had. A different mindset going there for something else, but meeting you guys. And it became a positive, very positive situation in my life. And I want to leave everybody here with try to find the purpose, the positiveness of why you're doing what you're doing right now, and how that positiveness is going to make a difference in your life and somebody else's life.
Mm. Awesome. Great. Thank you for bringing awareness to purpose and sharing yours. When we opened up the meditation, we were thinking we had the pulsing, right? You're seeing your light and your pulse with the connection to the earth. And then it broadens and you see other connections from all the people we've ever known, all the people on this planet, all interconnected to it. And we were sharing how some are pulsing at a different beat. Some are less dim, less illuminated. And from that space, what is our purpose? It's not really to go and fix theirs, right? But it's to shine yours as bright as you can so that others may see what the pulse, become the light. All right, become the light and just walk the path so clear. See, like I feel like my purpose, I make it real simple. I'm like, my purpose is to bring people closer to God, but you can call that whatever you want. It's to bring people closer to their connection to the core, to the source. That your pulse, that through my clarity, you find your clarity. Through our clarity on this call that shows up, people will find theirs. I don't know if it's money or if it's love or it's energy, whatever it is, it's all the same thing to me. Whatever it floats your boat, floats your boat. But it's to bring that level of clarity and trust and connection to something greater. That we are all beating there together, and to see the interconnectedness of all of us. That's my reminder to myself, because sometimes I'll say my purpose is to end world hunger. I'm like, what the hell am I even saying? Right. And like, my purpose is so that everyone makes more money. My purpose is that everyone becomes financially free. That's like, I don't even know if that's what should happen for them. Right. Again, that comes down to, I believe what is best for everyone is that people should not be born into war zones. And then I got to check myself and say, what the hell do I even know? Right. Like, and we give it over and we keep using those things to connect to source and God, that God exists in me The memory, the reminder is in me just like in all of us. We all can recognize the truth when we see it. No matter how hard, no matter if it's this person that's vacuuming at Sunday in the morning and all the things that came out of his mouth and his actions, can I see beyond that? Right? Beyond the facade, beyond the face, beyond the body, beyond the actions, to what the Course calls Christ consciousness. Or you can just say, see the Holy Spirit in somebody. It's there. You just got to see it. And in order to see your own, you have to see theirs. So Marianne Williamson chimes in perfectly as always in day 261. What I give to others, I will receive. This is good or bad or positive or negative, whatever you want to call it. What you give to others, you will receive. What I put into the universe will put to me. I cannot escape the law of cause and effect, which is my protection when I am loving, and my teacher when I am not. I cannot escape the law of cause and effect, which is my protection when I am learning, and my teacher when I am not. Today I choose to be generous, for generosity is in my self-interest. What I give to others, I receive. I will not be tempted today to deny, however subtly, the way I withhold love from others. I will not feign confusion about the genesis of unfortunate events in my life. When I know my heart, what I did or did not do to cause them, I atone for my errors and begin again today, knowing love and love only will guide me truly. I seek to give today what I wish to receive. May I give love, understanding, forgiveness, and encouragement. May I listen well, nurture well, and speak with kindness. And when I deviate, may I be forgiven. And then the other side, which perfectly speaks into the colleague conversation and the burning away of things, is burning through pain. Chaos often fosters the greatest creativity. Breakdowns often precede the greatest breakthroughs. And when the pain is greatest is often when we're on the brink of the greatest realization. The ego would prefer we not look directly into the darkness. It would not have us investigate our pain, for that is when we can learn from it. The ego knows that crisis often leads to the pivotal moments when we fall to our knees and ask God for help. The ego is endangered by crisis, preferring that a mile river of misery runs through the background of our lives. Never bad enough to make us question where it comes from or what it means, though. Yet the painful moment endured and transformed is our chance to rout Satan and remove him forever. When the pain is burned through rather than numbed, when our darkness is brought to the light and then forgiven, and then and only then can we move on. And move on we do. The ego knows this and stakes its life on the fact that we don't. So this guy, both guys in your scenarios, in your stories today, are teachers, right? As a protector when we are, this whole thing happening, the situation is a protector when we are loving, and a teacher when we are not. So we have two scenarios, right? It's like almost opposites, but it's teaching us the same thing. So really, really beautiful shares, Ariana and Natalia. Deborah, go ahead.
Thank you, Marianne Williamson, via Alex's voice. I jumped on later, just as Adam was speaking, but I picked up what the topic was and offer some beautiful wisdom via my father, who is very late stage dementia, and he's 91 and a half years old. Recent conversations in the last 6 months and up to Thanksgiving are like this. from a man, before I say his quote, but from a man who's lived a life as best any of us can, hasn't always been the sweetest, hasn't always been the grumpiest, but like we like lives, right? And a few times when he's lucid, he's pretty aware considering, but it's all about love for him. He says, he has shared with me, I'm like, don't cry in his presence, cry later so I can hear him and listen to him. But it's like the gist of it was all I've wanted to do my whole life is let people know that they were loved in his space. If he could say it that way, he would. And he says that often, and sometimes it sounds random, but it so lands and is so precious. And we had him over for Thanksgiving, and I asked him, Daddy, what would you like for Christmas? And he pauses a minute. Everything's quite slow, which is beautiful in its way. And he goes, lots of love. So as I'm older than most all of you guys, and that's not a saying, but it's like realistic. And as we all find our way with our invisible cane in front of us, and we'll smack some people with it, we'll drop it and run to hug others. And yet, in our life in general, it could be picked apart to like, oh, you were an asshole then, and you were stupid, and you fucked up this, and yes, I cuss, but it boils down to our soul and our being. It's just it is like you said, it's always a request for love or a cry for love, and to hear him speak that is a great teaching. That's all I got. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so interesting too, the wisdom of the elders. Like, you don't need to say a lot anymore, right? Like, very little can bring so much value. And like, I think about the mastery of simplicity, like just continuing to master, bring everything down to love. Let's just have a little bit more of love. Because no matter what we chase after in our lives today, I'm chasing big things and trying to do big things. At the end of the day, when I'm 91, when I'm sitting on my rocking chair in front of my house, or if that's where I'll be, I don't know. Maybe I'll be in a nursing home somewhere. But either way, it's just more love, right? I don't care about how many buildings I've built, or if I could have just built another building and this and that. It's going to be that, right? And then from that space, how would you do any of the relationships you're doing now? How would you trust? How would you form your partnerships? Right? Do you care about extra percentages? Do you care about more control? Adam, wait, no more buildings? No, we'll build them. Yeah.
It's like, it is that, to see him around his assisted living facility, not a nursing home, but, generally speaking, yes, is the biggest thing I noticed for him is his desire to connect. I think back in the day, you could call him a social butterfly, and I get that from him, but like just the simply connection and simply love.
Mm-hmm.
It's a needle point in my world, and no, I don't needle point, but it has, that's what's it. The rest of it's stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah. Claudia.
Hello, everybody. Great conversation. I just wanted to just reiterate like how important it is to have this conversation. And thank you, Ariana, for your courage to share that earlier on, and Natalie. Just how important it is for us to remember and to learn how to deal with, right, the hatred that may show up. I can speak for myself. Here living in Miami, there's like road rage situations where we literally have thrown bottles out of the car. And I just think it's important for us to just be in these conversations, learn the process, right? The forgiveness process and the steps. Because there will be more of that coming up, right? There's just a lot of upheaval that will come. There's a lot of shift and change and systems collapsing and economies collapsing. So I think it's just really important for us to really ground into, right, into that love and that forgiveness, and even forgive ourselves when we maybe lash out, right? When we have those moments of like punching walls or things like that. But it is just like, it's just really beautiful to remember, to listen to the call, to just regrounding to that. I think we're going to be needing that a lot moving forward. And just like Mama Deborah said, it's a call for love, right? Anybody that's acting out in aggressive ways, they just didn't have that love, or they had a bad day, or they've had a hard life, So I think it's really important for us to remember that and have that compassion. And maybe, like you said, Alex, was like, giving that love away, maybe being compassionate, and even asking the questions. Thank you, Luis, for that. Actually, I really appreciated that tip as well, right? Instead of telling people what to do or not to do, just ask questions. That's really powerful. So just wanted to express my gratitude and appreciation for all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Claudia. The antidote to judgment is curiosity, is to ask these questions. So yeah, thank you, Claudia. Claudia's like, now I got a new tool for my kids. Okay. Like, I'm gonna just ask a ton of questions. Yeah, we can all take something away from this call here today, and I hope you guys do. Like, for me, every one of these calls and every time I hear these miracle moments, it truly adds to the intensity of my fire, of my clarity, of what I'm doing in my life. Like, my flames burn brighter after every one of these calls, after every time we connect. And the vision, speaking of vision, sorry, I just got today at 3:30 p.m. PST, I will be sharing my vision in a way that is, I would say, it's one of the most proud things and the most clear things I've ever come across in my life in terms of manifesting into something tangible. Okay, I'm still in need of more people to join the vision to make it more clear for me. And I would love the ACIM community to be there in support of when this vision is expressed. This is the first time I will publicly bring it out. And so, just go to alexlovely.com/fund to get the info to join. It is, it's going to be fire. And all of this resulting from our Purple Eagle Tribe ceremonies that we run, and the clarity that comes from that space, that burns deeply and brightly in my heart. And with that being said, the Purple Eagle Tribe is doing a vision board. Okay, so if you've never done on what?
No, I said what?
When is it again? Can you just put it in the chat for anyone that wants to join us too? That link again. If you've never done a vision board, like bringing meditation and spirituality and prayers and stuff to your vision board in such a way that, let's call forth everything that is already ours in 2024, right? For this next year coming up, for us to have a guidance.
Yeah, guidance, and also how powerful it is to come together and actually do it as a group, right? The vortex of manifestation becomes even stronger. So anybody that feels called to download your vision for 2024, please join us. That's January 7th at 11 a.m. That's Eastern time, and I will share the link just momentarily.
January 7th. That's my mom's birthday.
Nice.
Nice. I like what you said. Download your vision board. It's not even about making the vision board. It's about downloading your vision board. That's awesome. All right.
And I think there's a difference between when we like trying to create from the mind, like what do I think I need to do versus just like allowing it to just come through.
Oh yeah. All right. January 7th. We'll be bringing on as many people as wanting to be there. Okay, so we're calling in all of you that's listening right now to be a part of it. You want to drop the link in there? Okay then. Well, be on the lookout for it and have a blessed Wednesday. Hope to see you guys in a couple hours when we share the vision, the Legends vision, Purple Eagle vision. All right. Have a blessed Wednesday. I will see you all later. Bye.